This is the Mailbag Show. We got a lot of questions. Let's not fuss around. This is kind of part of what was said on Tuesday, Corey. A lot of stuff was based on the young guys. We spoke to David Johnson. Then we got Usmain Croma. We also then got Javen Boggs. So young guys at the forefront of everybody's mind. Our guy Muck Noles said, good morning, gentlemen. Over under on the number of true freshmen that play from scrimmage in the first half against Alabama. 5.5. Probably go under on that, Corey. That's a big number. 1/2, first half against Bama. But I like that energy. I also like this question from FSU Man 5030. Wake up. Is this Mike's best recruiting class? Sounds like they hit on Croma, Sperry, Boggs, the Desir twins, Wynn, Arnaud. Or is a new coaching staff just going to be more willing to play freshmen? It would be great to finally see some high school recruits out there. I like this question so much, Corey. We usually don't do it this way, but man, let's just get right to it. It was the headline news of the day. It is the best question, I think, in the mailbag that will be spurring and generating discussion. So let's get the cameras on. And Corey, if you could just give us some energy, some power, portable power.
And then push the button.
It's generating discussion. It's sparked by Cummins. Give them a follow on their Instagram page. It's all just one word, Cummins Lifestyle. Our guy FSU Man 5030 will be entered into a monthly drawing for a gift bag from Cummins. And then obviously the end of year drawing for the portable generator, portable power station. Maybe we'll throw Muck Nolan there at the end of it just for kind of having a tangentially related question, Corey. So I don't know if you have thoughts on the over-under number of 5.5, or maybe we should pick it up from FSU Man 5030 and start thinking about, I know it's early, obviously. They haven't played it down, but man, there's a lot of good energy around this freshman class. And a lot of it, I think, was because we spoke to Croma, we spoke to Boggs the other day, and as well as David Johnson, what he had to say about Croma.
Yeah, well, to answer that other question real quick, I'm with you. I think it's the under. I think that I know for certain if they're healthy, Croma and Boggs are playing. After that, I think Kevin Wynn is going to play. The Desir twins maybe, but those are maybes. Croma and Boggs are definites. I don't know that there's 4 more definites after that, especially in the first half of that game. As for this question, look, I'm not trying to pile on, my man, but what is his best recruiting class? It ain't like he's been crushing it.
That's the point.
Yeah, so, but also we haven't seen any of these kids play a college football game. It sounds like he's going to have more instant impact with this class than he's had with any other class besides 2020, and that doesn't really count because they were forced into action. So, yeah, it's trending that way. I believe in, obviously, Boggs and Croma, I think, are the standouts so far. They're the ones that are talked about the most, and the Desir twins. But we'll see what that actually looks like in games. But, yes, it definitely seems to be like when you're already when coaches and teammates, not just coaches, but teammates, are already talking this much about true freshmen, whatever it is, 2 weeks into their careers, it bodes well that they're going to be contributors, starters, maybe stars. But it's not like they put together a lot of starters out of their recruiting class in the last 6 years. So the fact that you're getting viable starters, perhaps quickly, bodes very well. So I would say, the jury is still out, obviously, as Aslan goes through this 2024 class. Like Danzy, Amari Williams, Charles Lester, their stories aren't written, so we don't know where they're going to end up being. So it's hard to say for sure this one trumps that one. It would seem like this one has a little bit more high caliber star power, at least at the skill positions.
Yeah, I think if you go back and listen to Norvell's press conference in December of 2024, or 2023, December 2023, when he was talking about his early signing class, that was the 2024 signing class. He had really, really effusive praise. I think he might even said along the lines of this might be the best class, or just this is a class that I feel most confident about making an instant impact. So that's kind of the barometer if you want to use something.
Obviously, this is a class that we're extremely excited about. This class, I mean, it's highly rated and sought after guys. And a lot of these guys, I think, have the opportunity to impact here, as freshmen, and then definitely early in their careers.
But those guys, nobody ever really made it onto the field. I would be shocked at this point if all those guys on the screen don't get into games of significant import. We'll still about the Desir twins. I believe in Wynn. I believe in Arnaud. I believe in Boggs, obviously. Cromos, Sperry. I don't want to see Kevin Sperry in a game. I don't think anybody really wants to see. Although maybe no, I take it back. East Texas A&M. Let's be up 52-3 in the third quarter and let him eat for a little bit, I guess. But I can't remember. And this is crazy, right, Corey? We were at practice last year, and the 6 previous years or whatever, the 4 previous seasons under Mike Norvell. I don't really know how many times we thought true freshman, that guy's got a real chance. I think like Vandrevius Jacobs, we like Lewayne McCoy to a certain degree. But like with what we heard from David Johnson about Cromos, what is it? He's different.
Yeah.
Talked about his level of competitiveness. I don't know if I ever felt that way about any other true freshman I saw at a practice in the last several years. So I'm going to go ahead and be prisoner of the moment and say yes.
We'll see. I mean, you'd also like some depth in this class. You don't want just 2-star. You don't want it to be like the 2003 Florida State recruiting class when it was like Ernie Sims and Antonio Cromartie, and then a bunch of not really good. You need some depth, and you need some more starters besides 2 big time players. But you hope Sperry works out. You think the Desir twins are going to play at some point in their careers and be contributors. The way they're talked about 2 weeks into their college careers, they're going to play on this defense at some point in their careers, and they're probably going to be impact players. Kevin Wynn, I think, is going to be an impact player. That when they talk about Arnaud, you feel like he's going to be an impact player, probably earlier than later. But I still think it's too early to say they hit on these guys. We just don't know. It sounds great, but I mean, we're in the middle of August. Let's see what we're saying in the middle of October or in the middle of October of 2026 before we know if they hit on them. Like I think it's Charles Lester. Did they hit on him? Kai Bates? But I'm saying like we don't know that. He's a redshirt freshman. And just because he's not maybe going to start as a redshirt freshman, that doesn't mean that he can't be a solid to good starter as a redshirt sophomore. And then I would say you hit on him. It's just a little too early to know right now. But when it comes to Bog, what you said about Vandrevius and who else did you mention?
Lewayne McCoy.
Like they had snippets, right? They had a couple of stretches of like a week or 3 straight practices where it was like, wow, Vandrevius, like, wow, that's different. That's a quick kid. He should be able to play. And then the same thing with McCoy. But McCoy's always hurt. And Vandrevius did not carry that over into the fall. He looked like a really good player in the spring, but by the fall, I thought Hakeem had caught up with him. With this kid, Boggs, he has kind of been the talk of the offense from the start of spring practice until right now in the middle of August. This is not necessarily just a 1-week wonder. This kid is going to play and going to play a lot. He is on a different level than those guys. He doesn't just flash like he's good. He is good, and he might end up being incredible by the time he's done.
Really impressed with Cromos, too. I almost want to say I feel like he's Jameis if you gave Jameis maybe like half a bar of Xanax. It's a little bit more laid back, but there's like that beaming smile, that confidence, that sort of boyish energy, just like the fun about football, how much he loves it, how excited he is to play against Alabama. I like how he kept saying what he was saying, like not truthfully, but his word he was using to be
I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be real. Yeah.
No, it was realistic. I'm going to be realistic with you all. I think is what he kept saying. It was very endearing, I thought. So really good energy from him. And just to hear the way, listen, again, the written word is an awesome thing. I'm a video guy, but there's times where I'd rather read an Ira or Corey story to get to the gist of something. Like go listen to the David Johnson interview. Go look at the way his eyes are when he's asked about Ousmane Cromos. It is different the way he reacted to it.
He's different.
So I've got really high expectations for him, and I'm a little bit disappointed in myself for putting him so low in my preseason top 40, but I didn't want to put too much pressure on you, Ousmane. So you're welcome.
You know what's cool? When you're doing this as long as I've been doing it, and you too, but you're not as old as I am, like you can kind of read body language or just the way a persona, and you can kind of tell right away there is a quiet confidence that is deserved in this young man when he's talking to us. Javon Boggs and Cromos especially, but both of them talk as if they're 7-year NFL vets. They are not surprised by this. This is right where they expected to be. This is what they expected to be doing. They are not overwhelmed by the moment. They are not like shy in front of microphones. They are comfortable in who they are, and they're comfortable with how good they are. And those kind of guys you can. Timmy Jernigan was that way. Obviously, Jameis was that way. Rashad was that way. He was quiet, but he was very, very confident in who he was. And Jalen, clearly. So it's, although we didn't get to talk to him as a freshman, which is whatever. But anyway, that would have been, why would we want to talk to Jalen Ramsey? That wouldn't have been fun. But Derwin, guys like that, like you can tell, and I'm not saying that these guys are going to be NFL All-Pros, maybe Hall of Famers, but the really good ones have this quiet, it's not even quiet, it's just an air of confidence that they belong. This is what they do. Usman Cromall and Javon Boggs, I don't know how good they're going to be as freshmen. I know they think they're going to be really good, and I know their teammates and coaches think they're going to be really good, and usually that means they are going to be good. There is a self-belief and a confidence in just how they carry themselves. Watch those interviews. Aslan's right. Like Cromall, if you just look at the written quotes, it's like, yeah, that doesn't seem like real charisma. But go watch the way he talks.
What? Oh, no, it's crazy. It's just being at Florida State it's surreal.
And just go watch the way Boggs talks, and you'll see what I'm saying. They have those guys might be the truth. They might be the real deal. In fact, at this point, I'd be surprised if both of them aren't all-American type caliber players by the time their college careers are done.
The real deal, Cummins, their portable power, the own and line of products. Give it a gander. Check out all the cool things you can do in your off time, your recreational time. When you've got portable power in your hands, in your RV, in your vehicle, give it a follow over on Instagram, Cummins Lifestyle, all one word. Also, check out their stock. They're almost there. Near $400 a share, everybody.
Let's go, Cummins. Let's go.
Who else is out there who wants to get part of this gravy train?